Amy is me eating humble pie. I'm going to share the mistakes that I made growing my two businesses that you can avoid, right? So I'm going to tell you the things that I did wrong, and I'm sure I did more than this. But these are the top highlights, right? Because it's tough to share things like that. And I'll be honest, I used to be really embarrassed when I would first try a completely new field and not be successful. That's crazy if you think about it, because of course, often when we try something new, it takes us time to learn what that thing is, or we make mistakes as we're learning. Nobody just stands up and walks, right? We crawl, we stumble, and all of that. And I, in fact, now see those mistakes as part of why the businesses that I have now are so strong and why my new one that I'm growing is going to be even better. Will I make more mistakes in the future? You better believe it. And I'll be sharing those with you too so you can avoid them. But here are the ones that I made. The first is that I was not consistent enough. So one week I would work super, super hard and almost burn myself out a little bit. And then the next week I would maybe take one day off, but sometimes that would roll into more. Family stuff would take over, life stuff would take over. Maybe something would happen that would require me to be out of pocket for a day. And then I would think, oh, I've missed today. I need to rest tomorrow. I just wasn't consistent. And when I got consistent, everything changed. The second thing is I had a lack of follow up. So somebody would say, hey, that's really interesting. I'd love to hear more. And I would say, sure, here's some information. And that's where I let it end. I don't know about you, but for me, I'm busy a lot of the times in terms of my social media life. I'm not going, oh, yeah, that's right. I meant to follow up and say, hey, thanks for giving me that information. Let me ask you some questions. It takes a few times in sales. In fact, they say it takes between 17 and 21 times before somebody sees something and understands something before they even want to do it. And almost all business is sales, right? So I wasn't consistent enough and I didn't follow up enough. I also didn't follow through all the time. And I'm talking about when you say, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to run a business training starting September 5th for 12 weeks. And then life happens and you end up not starting it. A lot of people don't sign up, so you just let it slide. I talked a really good game, but I didn't walk a really strong walk. Until I did, that's when everything changed. The next thing is that I focused on the wrong things a lot of the time. I really wasn't doing a great job of realizing what resources I had and how I could deploy them and what the most direct route to helping my consumer was, right? To helping my community was, because that's really the key to success. And it's the key to my heart in business too. When I'm helping people, I get high off of just that. But I really wasn't focusing on the things that would make the biggest impact. Also, I was overtraining and underdoing. I was training like that was an income producing activity, and it's not. I think training is important, but I think we get into a training cycle where what my recommendation is that once a month you take one training and you take it, you implement it, and then you evaluate it before you take another training. Because I think a business is in some ways like flying a plane. And if you're going to adjust 16 different controls on your dashboard and then wonder, well, I wonder which one of those controls made the impact that I want, you're in trouble. You need to adjust only one or two things in a certain silo at a certain time. And I was, in fact, just focused on learning, not implementing. And the best thing you can do if you're trying to grow an at-home business, if you're trying to do any sort of business, is act. You've got the guts, you've got the instinct, you've got the knowledge. You know why that business is something you feel so called to share that it's important to you. So go ahead and start acting. Imperfect action is the key. And then next is going to be the not tracking ROI. ROI is your return on investment. I would do a lot of things that seemed like they were good for business, that my uplines were doing for business. But when I actually went back and looked at the ROI, I'm putting out $175 to do this event. I'm spending this many hours on the event itself. Did I assist my customers? Did I engage my community? Did I educate people enough that they thought that was an event valuable to go to? And did that teach them about the business that I'm offering them or the products that I'm sharing with them? No, in my case. A lot of the times I had systems whose ROIs did not pan out and I wasn't tracking it. Probably because I didn't want to know, because I love events. And so what I realized was my last mistake. I was getting so personal, I forgot about the business. And what I mean by that is I absolutely love my community. And so I was so excited just hanging out, talking, learning, doing make and takes with the current population that I wasn't growing. And if you're not growing, you're dying. So be personal, have a good time, but call it that. Say, you know what we should do? We should all have a brunch one Saturday a month or one Thursday evening month. We should all go to trivia night because I love you guys and I want to see you and I want to hang out. That's the truth of why I did most of my events. And I had a fun time geeking out and learning about Young Living, but I was getting way too into the personal to the point where I was missing the business pieces. So there's my list in all of its glory. I can help you if you're interested in starting a general business or even partnering with me in Young Living, which would cost you $1. I can help you walk that journey. And in Young Living in particular, what I love about it is there are two opportunities. The first is for customers. If you just want to be a customer and share with your friends, you get 25% of their order, their first order, as a credit on your account. If you were to want to be a brand partner, which is we call business partners, you get 50%. But a lot of the times, I think when you think about starting a business, no matter what it is, there's so much to learn and it's such a big hill to climb. And it feels like your initial excitement is kind of dampened by the effort that it's going to take. Well, here's your secret sauce. Starting September 5th, we're offering a free training for 12 weeks to everyone in our cohorts. This is designed by the people at the top of our company, people just like us. And it is led by the people who are the top of our company as well. So we're getting the chance to learn from people who have walked the walk, succeeded where we would want to, and who will give us 12 weeks of the information we need to succeed. So I'd love to see if that's something you'd like to learn more about. If you have questions, if you want to chat, let's do it. I know these mistakes are going to help you because knowing about them means you won't make them yourself. And I can't wait to share even more helpful information tomorrow night, live around 5. Take care, everybody.